Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? Happy Tuesday. You guys been having a great week. I'm gonna jump in, and I guess we're gonna continue on this little Thousand Sun guy here. Blue Quishy Dundersnuff, welcome. Working from home today? Alright. Is that a good thing? Hope that's not just like sickness getting worse or something, but day to work at home is always nice though. But you're still sick. Yeah, it's too bad. Is he truly the thousandth son? He might be. He might actually be the thousandth son. Thousandth, I think, might actually be a word. Very well could be. Body felt like lead, so I asked around 11 a.m. Boss didn't see it till 3 p.m. So, okay, jeez. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. If you're dust, you can't be sick. True. True. I think that just shows that it all strive to be more like the Thousand Suns. They know what's up. True health plan. Oh man, yeah. So back into like a normal schedule. It's kind of nice. Family's healthy, back to doing their thing. So I'm back to doing my thing. What's normal mean? Yeah. I've actually normal for me, what I've been looking forward to for like the past month, means that it is the second weekday, and I have been to the gym twice now, so I feel good about that. The first time I've done that in quite some time, so that's nice. My body is sore, but happy. So, thank you. Quishy's assembling some bolt action Germans. Nice. I saw you got a bunch of stuff. That's really cool. You're putting together a Churchill tank, which is really cool too. For 95 €. Oh, very cool. Got a whip? Gonna wait till you get some painting done to avoid the distraction. Sure. You just let me know, Blue, alright? That's cool. I don't mind the distractions. But I understand. We'll highlight on this silver. I'm using pure Pro Acryl silver here. Yeah, it's nice to get a good deal on things. So, not excited to paint the camo? That's fair. I just painted green. Fine. That's all I gotta do. Or all the camo on your Germans, probably. Yeah. Surely people have shortcuts for that, but I understand. It's painting historicals are way more difficult than painting unhistorical. I don't know, like fantasy sci-fi minis. I'm always scared I'm gonna like get like little details wrong. Paint handle looks dope. Yeah, I'm liking the paint handle. Yeah, I haven't filled it with anything yet, but it's working well. If I had one complaint, it's just the magnets on the holder. They're not super strong, so I tend to like pull them up more often than I would want. But no, otherwise very cool. Mungo's Miniatures. They were sent to me because I won a giveaway. So that Blue nominated me for on Instagram, which was very thoughtful. 10mm. Toss it in between. Oh yeah, that's a good call. Alright. I'll have to dig out some. I have 10mm magnets, I'm fairly certain. I appreciate that, man. It's very loose around the historical stuff. He doesn't really get as mad about ahistorical stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay. Honestly, wouldn't really expect that from Bolt Action community. We'll keep the chainmail how it is. Darker. So I saw the Skitarii rules. The 30k rules have a preview on them. The one big question I have was what kind of like unit slot does it fit into? And they still haven't. They didn't mention that in the article, which I was a little disappointed. However, it looks like a cool unit. And the fact that they get line, which is a really important rule in 30k, the fact that they get line is a really big deal. So I'm glad. It seems like they knew, whether they made the rules, they knew the Skitarii were coming later, or they corrected. But Skitarii ostriches, no, those are not nearly as egregious as the one. This is Homelander, or not Homelander. This is an Omni-Man meme of, two Skitarii from 30k talking, and one of them points up at the whatever he's called, the big stilt man for 40k, and says, "Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power." Yep. Okay. What's going on, Wandering Pict? How you doing? Cybernetica, didn't have any issues with objective because my characters have the comptroller rules. Yeah. Well, you talk to a lot of Mechanicum players, they cry a lot about not having line units. So I don't play Mechanicum myself, so I can't speak, too much to that experience, but they seem to get a big sad when talking about their rules. Get a couple of jade colors out here, and I'm gonna use this just to this little accent piece or two on these minis. Comptroller's basically line. Yeah, it works a bit differently though. Like, I know there's some weird interactions between comptroller and like units like certain units, automatons or something, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite up on all of the details, but a couple of these little accents here. It's 5 jars of paint. I think I'll finish painting all my British stuff. Very nice. All right. When you paint is what that says. What's going on, Misfit? How you doing? Thank you for the resubscribe. 16 months. Awesome, man. I appreciate it. I really do. You enjoy your commercial-free, ad-free viewing. Oh, excuse me. I'm apparently more tired than I thought. Tavern, good morning. Color out here. Do something while this jade is drying. Well, Blue, thanks, Blue. Thank you. To many more, indeed. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. You're finally awake during the day. Can be a challenge. I'm gonna go back and nap half the time, but I get it. You keeping yourself hydrated, Quishy? Good. Or caffeinated? Maybe you should just be hydrated. I don't know. Whoa, Tabarin. Well, thank you. Hey, yeah, we got the Prime sub. Very nice. All right, thank you, Tabarin. I'm more than happy to take Jeff Bezos' money. He's got enough of it. So, good deal. Welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And again, enjoy the ad-free viewing. We can be boring together without ads interrupting it. That's the whole goal, right? Okay, let's do one more little coat of this dark jade here. Favorite place to watch dry on this? Yeah, yep, of course. You barely get any ads. Oh, well, nice. That's good. They're crazy here. John Lockridge, welcome in, man. Jumping up on YouTube. Got 3 emails all day. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna grab some jade, some regular jade. Some little lines in here. Painting bug. It's uncommon for me. Good to hear you're back on your regular schedule. Yeah, yeah. We're kind of off around like the, you know, holidays and everything. Family's home and we're traveling and we're just doing stuff, and so it's hard to make a set schedule. I think there's gonna be like one day I was gonna be able to stream, and I was like, you know what? Just gonna take the time. I did stream one day though. We did some giveaways at the end of the year. I think it was New Year's Eve, but otherwise, yeah, otherwise it kind of just took a break, spent time with the family, relaxed. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Depends on which part of your family, but for the most part, yeah. Some family I don't care to take the time to spend with, but that's alright. I'm an adult and have that kind of choice. I don't know, Latvia. I don't know if you want mass migration from Twitch viewers. I don't know if that's good for the country.
Stay on target.
A little bit off here. Yeah, we're kind of getting into the weeds with the details anyway. Oh, we need people. Okay, okay. Even take the Twitch viewers, huh? Working and lurking today. Models looking good. Thank you, John Lockridge. I appreciate it. We got this guy. We got his little book. We can get more of this khaki. Bob Dew. Welcome in, Bob Dew. How you doing? I'm doing great. How are you? Just working on a mini here. Vibing and chilling. Cool. You are you in the hobby, Bob? Or you paint minis or play Warhammer or anything, or what brings you here? For the large bang. Oh no. What do you do? What do you collect? What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a little bit of this white gold out. I'm gonna do just a little extra highlight over this, some of the gold on this mini. $30K salamanders. Oh, sweet. All right, 40K Thousand Suns and AOS stuff. Very nice. Have you played much third edition for Heresy? I've been enjoying third edition, so I like it. I think the worst part is just the fit that people throw about it, but you know, people are allowed to do that. Haven't played yet. Okay. I have a lot of Thousand Suns though. PSL Blackwatch by the gallon. Yeah. They'll learn eventually, Misfit. Play 3 games of third. Nice. Salamander's kind of... I don't think they're broken. There are definitely some good legions, but I think the game is a lot more, evened out than it was in the first 2 editions. Yeah, like good things aren't quite as extreme as good things were in second or in first. So if there's an edition you want to be good in, I think this is a good one, because you don't have to feel bad for playing your faction. Like being an Imperial Fist player in second edition or something. Like they were way too broken. or being Thousand Suns in first edition. Salamanders from what I've seen are well above the curve. Yeah, I think there are definitely a couple legions that are above like that, which happens. But don't feel bad about playing your legion. Like I said, this I played a ton of second edition, and this edition is so much more mellowed out as far as like the power balance is concerned, that I don't mind facing any faction. I did hear Custodes are really bad, but I haven't played against Custodes yet in third. But yeah, I don't think there are as many feels bad moments as far as like what you take or what legion you bring, or even like bringing stuff like Lords of War or Primarchs isn't quite as like frowned upon. Perimeter check revealed nothing. It's just like your house or apartment or whatever, just like popping, like the random weather change. Spam last cans in second, it felt really bad to play. Yeah. Spamming last cans in second edition was kind of a dick move. Or spamming dreadnoughts or anything like that. Ever place in the sun, given the pits salamanders were in the previous edition? Yeah. As a Thousand Suns player, Bob, I am right there with you. We are considered, I think it was Salamanders and Thousand Suns were considered the worst legions last edition. And I'm glad we both get a moment to shine, because Thousand Suns are in a really good spot too. So, oh, he's got like little knee bubble things that I can put some more gems on. How many las cannons could I fit in a list? And I played it once and told friends I was bringing a disgusting list ahead of time. Yeah. That's the way to do it. If you want to mess around, your friends are cool with it. Showing up to like a pickup game with a disgusting broken list. That was my first game of Horus Heresy, was like that, against the person who was showing me how to play. Just brought a completely like disgusting list and wipe the floor with me in like 2.5 turns. Iron Warriors in general are really good. Yeah, Iron Warriors, Iron Hands, Imperial Fists were all pretty disgusting in second edition. Loyalist legions in general. Blood Angels are really annoying because of their Rite of War that let them all deep strike on a turn you chose, and it was like an all-in thing. Like, it either completely demolished the enemy and no one had fun, or the Blood Angels player completely failed, which was really rare for that to happen if they were making like a competent list. But Iron Hands are still really good, that's right. Yep. Yeah, they kept most of their rule from second edition. You know, I remember everyone talking about how Raven Guard were just completely busted and broken, and then from what I have read more recently, is that Raven Guard are among the like not so good legions, like kind of toward the bottom with their legion rule, like not synergizing well with taking objectives and stuff like that. Master Army rule doesn't matter. You can get within 18 super fast. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Raven Guard rule in second didn't work a lot. Yeah. I think Quishy. Yeah, I kind of understand that. Like, yeah, how they're a bit one dimensional. Yeah, but also as someone that came from a legion where in second edition none of my rules affected vehicles, and so the most optimal way to play was to never bring vehicles, and that's super one dimensional to me. I like having like all the cool tanks and stuff. It's nice to see third edition where none of the legion rules affect vehicles, so vehicles are really good, but they're like a separate entity in the game, which is really nice, and I feel like that alone adds a ton of variety to the game. Oh, you were talking about second. Oh, okay. Became. Okay. I gotcha, yeah. Well then, yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, because I experienced that, yeah. Alright. Let's take this mini. And let's put some transfers on it. Yeah, we can do that. Old container. Put some water in here. It's clean water. The container's stained. Raven Guard were pretty weak outside Dark Furies. Yeah. I never played against Raven Guard in second. Okay, let's grab the old transfer sheet. See what we got here. I think a scarab is a really appropriate icon. I have this whole big Forge World one here. This is my second sheet that I've got from them. Do I do the big? I think the big scarab is the way to go on one end. Get some of our necessary things out. Where are my tweezers? My little precision tweezers. Where are you? There they are. Alright. Do end up playing, it'll be versus Iron Hands or Death Guard. Yeah, I did play one game against Death Guard. It went really well, actually. So it was funny. I brought Ahriman. That was my first battle bringing Ahriman to a battle, and Ahriman is a very good duelist. So yeah, I bring Ahriman here. We'll do a sunburst. Okay, here's what we'll do. I bring Ahriman, and my opponent brought a Praetor, a Death Guard Praetor that was like made for challenges. So and Death Guard have a really good unique gambit and everything. So he was like ready to go. Well, Ahriman is a very good duelist, and we end up getting in a duel. I think like the second turn of the game, and our duel went on 3 or 4 rounds. It was a pretty long duel, but I ended up killing him. I think I lost 1 wound on Ahriman. And then Ahriman proceeded to go through like 2 other Centurion characters that he had and just cleaned house. So it was pretty baller on Ahriman's part. He just went nuts. Any rumors on Legion Plastics? The last I heard was from Valrak, and it was months ago, saying that Abaddon and the Justarin Terminators will be the first ones. Be the first Legion Plastics. So I would bet that those are going to be the first Legion Plastics. And hopefully when those start coming on, they start like bringing them out pretty quick. Okay, so we have our little container of water right down here. I won't put that all the way on camera. I'm gonna put all 3 of these transfers in the water here. And we're gonna get 2 things out. We're gonna get this stuff, Mark Fit. It's decal solution. It's like an all-in-one decal solution. This is like my preferred decal solution, and then we'll get kind of an old brush. That's somewhat precision here. We're going to put a transfer right in the middle here. Put one on this shoulder and one on that shoulder, and then we'll see if we want to do more from there. Get my hands on the Warsmith. Yeah. Well, if you want a Warhammer World exclusive, oh no, Quish, you're in Europe, so yeah, good luck. I don't know. I'll say they have the Warhammer World coming to the U.S. to the Nova area, but yep, just gotta let those transfers sit and soak for a bit. Care Bear transfers are your favorite? Okay. You'll have to explain to us how Care Bear transfers work. Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Right there. I got it. Yeah, they're very slow to restock. Do you have like the email list? Are you on the email list for it, like for restock? I did that at one point and it seemed to work pretty well. I did that for the librarian, librarian console mini, and I ended up getting it. I mean, it took months, but I was able to get one when it came back in stock. $81 for 5 of them. I mean, I don't. Yeah, it'll probably be a little cheaper, but yeah, man, getting 2 plastic units and a character for each legion would be significant. Yeah, 81 pounds. Yeah, so it's like $160 or something, because there's no 1-to-1. But yeah, every legion getting just 3 sets. So just a named character in plastic, and then yeah, like two sets, a Terminator and a Power Armor set with plenty of extra bits, and you're set. Like, that's all you need for a very long time. And a couple more army rules from a journal or something. The shipping, yeah, Misfit. Yeah, because you have to spend, it's like $65 to get the free shipping, to unlock the free shipping or whatever. So, 3D print new Dominators. One of my Thunderhammers on them have snapped. Ah, it's too bad. Yeah, Bob, the UK US currency transfer from GW is all kind of out of whack. Alright, I think this has been enough time. What we're gonna do, make this a little easier. Oh, here's what I'll do. Hold on, we'll get the little one. Ha! There we go. The tiny holder. It's like little. Alright. What did I say? We'll do the old Care Bear transfer first. That's an interesting transfer. I just realized. The transfer that's supposed to be gold, it actually has white details under it. All those white details are going to be hidden. So I'm putting on a white background. But it is like a full scarab. Okay, lay that down. Being the UK, we have the cheapest Warhammer. Yeah. Point of jealousy. Yeah, everybody in the UK is like, I can't believe that box set's £100. And I was like, that's a $250 box set here. I know our currency is on the downturn right now, but geez. Not like that. Okay. We'll let that sit for a minute. We'll get the next part. We're going to get that scarab. Put that scarab up here. How many salamanders do you have, Bob? How many points? 2.5. Nice. I have gone a bit overboard with my Thousand Suns. About 10,000 points of painted Thousand Suns. And another 5,000 points of various auxiliaries. So, 1 second. Just a couple points, yeah. And I got into Heresy with second edition, so I haven't been. It was like a year into second edition when I got into it. So, I collected quite a bit over the course of 2.5 years. Okay, just line this up, and then these things, we'll need to get another coat of Mark Fit over the top. Start Iron Wars in 2019. Nice. Yeah, I always wanted a Thousand Suns army. I wanted to collect them since I think the Heresy was announced. But yeah, I wasn't gonna be messing with all the Forge World pricing and everything. Sons, what's going on? What's going on, Band of Goblins? How you doing? Okay. We gotta let this guy sit for a bit. You're going to Forge World this weekend. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. We will set you to the side. And put our transfer stuff up. Alright, and I have a couple breachers I painted. These are Mark II breachers. These aren't the new Mark III ones. But I varnished them, I glued them to their bases, and now I'm going to put some ultra matte varnish over some areas that need it. Shake this varnish up really well. All the sediment mixed in. One second. My favorite armor mark is mine is definitely Mark IV. I have very little Mark IV in my armor, mainly because I'm waiting for updated Mark IV. I didn't want a bunch of little tiny dudes next to the fully grown new plastic Marines, so I have a lot of Mark VI. I have mostly Mark VI, but mainly because that's kind of the era I was collecting. I have, quite a bit of Mark IV from the Saturnine box and everything, and then I have very little Mark III. The Beakies. The Beakies, yeah, Mark VI. Yeah, Mark VI are the full Beakies. Yeah, Mark VI is great though. Mark VI is very good. Like it's super paintable and like a really good. It's really good for like building an army. Hey Misfit, thanks for gifting that sub. I appreciate that.
First of all, let me take just a moment.
There you go. All right, Bob.
Allowing me back into your home.
Got free viewing, sir. There you go. Hopefully those don't mess with you. Oh, dang, Misfit. Alright, Misfit. Thanks for gifting another sub. I appreciate that. Guess you have to follow now. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, you gotta follow. Just going through and putting this matte varnish on, like, gun casing and certain parts that would have more of a matte finish, that don't want that satin finish that I had. So that's what I'm doing. And whips, yeah, absolutely. Yep. You look, whips. I know you've been waiting. Who's been chomping at the bit here? All right, I think that's it for you. Oh, I had it working. Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, let's take a look. And whips. Oh, it's the Armiger. Oh, that's so good. That's your, like, your Dark Angels color scheme too, right? And, like, the hint of, like, green in the weathering. That's really cool. Yeah, that's fantastic looking. This was with oils also. The oils are still wet here, aren't they? They still wet there? Starship Filth oil paint. Oh, nice. That's a nice color. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha's got another day or so. Dang. Hey guys, take a look at Blue's Minion whips there. Fantastic looking. Oh, I mean, it looks great. I was glad I was finally able to tune in. Had things going on my Mondays and Fridays. Preoccupied, so good. It was nice. Unpainted German and finished as a little bit of a troll. That's a straight band. Squishy. That's what that is. To get schedules back to normal, honestly. Yeah. It does, yeah. I feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants like every holiday season. And I don't really like that. I've painted a lot of Mark II, and I'm wondering if I would end up liking Mark III better than Mark II, just because of all the trim, like little things to highlight on these Mark II minis. They're not even trim; it's just the segmented armor. Like I have 10 more of these breachers to paint, but man, they just seem like they took forever. I've already painted 30 tactical marines or so. So, Mark II's greater than Mark III. I like the way it looks better, yeah. The shields are a great bit of visual difference from the other minis, yeah. Unfortunately, with Myami, the shields don't help. Because I already have ways to get them the benefits from the shield. It just slows them down, basically. I mean, it gives them an invulnerable save against, like, normal attacks and stuff, but... Oops. As far as, like, the special deal with having a shield and the unique reaction it gives you, it's not as good as what I could give them. But I mean, it also, like, I could give, you know, use the shield reaction if I need to, and also give them another psychic power and stuff, but it's alright. We're doing it because I already have tacticals, I have assault marines, I have despoilers, so this is the last troop choice that I can bring. Not a fan of the new look for the Mark IIIs. I mean, I like the Mark IIIs. I like the new Mark III stuff. For, like, what they are. They're just not for me and my Legion. I do like having a mix, though. Never got to the point where I was like, you know, I want to paint something, I have money to burn, but there's nothing out that I want to get. Then, you know, a box of Mark III tacticals, and I'll paint them up as tacticals just to have extra tacticals to throw to mix into the squads. I think that'd be great. I'm more than happy to do that. But I am not at that point. What's a good thing to eat when you're sick? Soup? Soup is good to eat when you're sick. As long as you don't have, like, a stomach virus. If you have, like, a stomach thing, then don't eat for a day or so.
Look at me!
We're looking whips? Alright, alright. Check, let me finish up the little bit left on this guy. Alright. Yeah. You just need, like, nutrients in your body. Chicken noodle soup is good for that. buy a can of soup. Okay, whips. Whips. Oh, nice. It's the rest of the Germans, right? It's like, looks like Germans. Okay. We did that. How are these little things going? Yep, it's starting to dissolve. Plastic, you can see the angles, the creases there. They're all wearing camo. Oh, okay. So yeah, you got some work cut out for you then. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, one mini I do need to do a little bit with is my Wood Elf Spellsinger here. You guys remember this Wood Elf I painted? And I messed with the base. This base dried really well. So the grass didn't stand up too well, and that's probably just the because of the method I used to put it in, where I just put it in the basing material. But the flowers stuck after everything dried, so that's really good. And those are like thick, like durable flowers. But I'm going to paint around this base rib, and then eventually I'm going to put another coat of a matte varnish on everything, and then this mini will be done. Just going to be efficient with our time here, letting things dry so we get to new things. You want to do different patterns. Yeah, I mean, that's your prerogative, right? If you want to do that, then my advice, my kind of way of painting a lot of minis at once is you pick your first color, you paint that mini on every color, then you pick your second color, you paint that color on every mini, and you keep going until it's like unbearable. All right, so you go until you're just like, I can't do this next color on every mini, and you stop wherever you are, whether you finished half of them or a third of them or, you know, all but 3 of them, like you stop there. And then you take all of the minis who already have that color and you start with the next color. And you do that, you continue that same pattern until you're absolutely sick of painting that many minis, and then you cut down the numbers again. And you keep breaking it down until you're at, like, you know, you might be at like 5-10 minis, and you're finishing those up, and then you go to paint the next batch and you look at it and you're like, oh wow, they're mostly painted already, so now I just have to do this next step. And then as you go further on, like, they're a little further back on the painting steps, but you're not starting from 0 with all the minis. You're just pushing yourself until you're like not able to continue, basically, and then you move on to the next step. That's my way of doing it. It works well for me, so. Yeah, Wood Elf is cool. I like this mini a lot. I've always liked this mini. It already breaks up the numbers a bit. Yeah, yep. Yeah, and you can, you know, yeah, you get to a point you're like, well, these guys, I have this many left, and I'm doing the camo, so, you know, I might as well just do all them the same. And then the next batch, you need to do them different or whatever. Yeah. Cool. Purple flower is really cool. Happy with that. Alright, this guy is my matte varnish dry. Looks like it. I'll take this guy. We're still waiting for this. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna cheese a little bit. We're gonna put a little more Mark Fit on here right away. That's right. Yep. Said you're painting the British before you work on all those. That's cool. This is not his base, guys. I have a container full of bases I'll pull out and I'll glue him to after he's varnished. So that's no big deal. Next, let's get my sand weathering powder. Is Huge Miniatures. Nice stuff. That's actually all my basic material I used on this mini. It's from Huge Miniatures. So and get kind of a ratty brush. Strello, what's going on? I think I might airbrush this afternoon also. I have some Thousand Suns to start on, the rest of those Breachers, and then I also have these ghouls that I assembled the other day on stream. So I'm gonna prime these guys and then maybe paint them. So we're clearing out some of the backlog right now. Actually, put those over there. So we'll make sure I don't forget about them. Yeah, I have 10 more Breachers and a couple of unit sergeants is actually what I have to paint. So fortnightly, but Happy New Year. Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's all good. How you doing, Jaded Valkyrie? Alright. I you know what? I'm going to tell you guys about this, and I'm curious what your guys' opinion on this matter is, and if you have any advice on this. But my son for Christmas received not a phone, he got an MP3 player. Ah, crap. So we figured we would get him like a touchscreen MP3 player because he's always listening to music and wanting to listen to music, and we're like, that's totally cool. Like, let's do that. But we didn't want to get him a phone. That's way too expensive, and there is way too many variables with that. So I had to make him an account. And yeah, they're, you know, it's all these like little like Chinese companies that make them. And it's essentially a phone without a phone is what it is. It's a smartphone without a smartphone. That's like cheaper, just cheaply made and everything. But all right, here's how we set this up. I went through and I uninstalled most apps on it. So did that. We made sure to purchase one. Yeah, it's like iPod Touch. Yeah. We purchased one with no camera because I don't, you know, I don't want some random Chinese company, you know, watching my son on camera, and I don't want him to be able to like take pictures and put stuff online if he could figure out how to do that. So there's no camera on it. And you know, the purpose is to listen to music. So We got the Pandora app is free, and you can just listen to like radio on Pandora, which is fine. We also got the Libby app, which is it's library books, but it's audiobooks. So he actually has an audiobook that he's been listening to, which is really cool. But then we were trying to find an ad-free music solution. And it was something we had tried to figure out for a while, and I think I might have a workaround. But if someone has a better idea, I'm all ears. But yeah, so he currently has YouTube Music. Now, I use YouTube Music, so I'm familiar with it. So like I understand that. Now I have, and you can make fun of me if you want, but I have a YouTube Premium membership, and I've had it for like, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. I got it when it was called YouTube Red back in the day, but like I hate ads, and I will happily pay to not play ads. But but I can't sign into my YouTube account onto his device. So I could factory reset and then sign in as myself, like my Google account, and then he has access to my YouTube Premium, so he doesn't have ads for music, and then he can also download music. But then we're sharing the app, and it gets really weird because there's also no parental controls at that point. So there's that. Now, his account, he is under 13 years old, and like the little account I made him with you don't use a real birthday. I put a fake birthday, fake name, and all this stuff, this whole thing. He can have YouTube Kids. He can listen to YouTube Music, but he can't have Premium. So you have to be 13 years old or older to get Premium, and they have a Premium family membership that we had talked about getting, but he would not be able to benefit because he's not 13 years old. Okay, if that's clear. So, but if he's 13, I can't set his account to be 13 years old, or it wipes out his account, and we need to make a 13 plus account for him. So as far as YouTube Kids goes, I downloaded YouTube Kids, and I logged in with his account like on my phone, and I wanted to like check out YouTube Kids. YouTube Kids is garbage, especially for like a 9-year-old that wants to listen to music. Like, he wants to listen to actual music, and I'm cool with that. All right, this kid is obsessed with 21 Pilots, which I am cool with that, because 21 Pilots, they don't use bad language in their music. They have music videos, but none of them are like like vulgar or anything. And like, yeah, it's cool, it's fine. He can listen to all the 21 Pilots. YouTube Kids does not have any 21 Pilots music on that app. They do have Panic at the Disco, which I thought was weird that they have music videos for Panic at the Disco, but not 21 Pilots, which I'm pretty sure is the same like production company. But then like, it's just like, what is that picking and choosing of artists that you put on YouTube Kids? But other than that, it's like, here's the Bluey theme song, and here's kids like Kids Bop 37 or whatever. Like, that is YouTube Kids, and I can't do that to my son. Like, the kid's had a taste of greatness with like normal music. He's not gonna settle for Kids Bop and Bluey theme songs and Paw Patrol sing-alongs or something. Like, that's not what we're gonna do. I thought about Spotify, but neither my wife nor I have like a Spotify account, and we don't listen to Spotify. Like I said, I listen to music on YouTube, and I use the YouTube Music, and since I have the Premium on YouTube, yeah, Panic at the Disco is a lot more vulgar than 21 Pilots. Yeah, yes, absolutely. But when you search 21 Pilots on YouTube Kids, Panic at the Disco music videos come up. So here's my workaround. All right. Right. Yeah, and I am aware of the ads that ICE runs. So Kids Bop is still around, apparently. Yeah. Here was the workaround I found. I changed my son's age on his like little like Google sub account because he's allowed to make an account. We're allowed to make an account for him under 12 year or under 13 years old. He has to listen to ads on YouTube. There's no way around it. You cannot pay for any service that would take ads off of his YouTube in a, clear legal way, right? So he has to suffer through ads. He also can't download the music and like listen to it on car rides and stuff. Getting a Walkman, yeah, that's what I should do. Well, and I also, I consider getting, just like getting music and putting it on, putting on like an SD card and loading onto his device. But I also haven't bought an album in a long time, and like if he wants to listen to your music, it's just, oh no, he has to buy the music. But the workaround I thought of, and I have to test it today, is yesterday I set his age to 12 years old, and his birthday happens to be January 13th. He turns 13 today. So, congratulations, painting son. It's your 13th birthday. So, he should be old enough to benefit from a YouTube Premium family subscription, a family plan, which it's like $9 more, and then all three of us can get the benefit of YouTube Premium. So you should get that. And B, since he aged out of his kids account, what should happen is I, as the parent, and my wife decide when and how the parental controls are removed. So before, it was either you make a kid's account with parental controls and they can have nothing but ads, or you make a 13 plus account and there's no way to put parental controls on it, and it's just a normal account. So I think I found the best of both worlds, and we'll see. But it's something for me to test today. And we'll see. We'll see. I couldn't just make his stinking age 13 years old. Yeah, I would go to set his age at like 13 or 14 and be like, oh yeah, so he's 9 years old. Yeah, he's 9 years old. And I was like, what are you doing? And then I go to make it like, age 12 and 364 days. It's like, oh yeah, your son is 12 years old and 364 days. Yeah. You have a memorial on January 13th? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if this sounds like happy birthday kind of stuff, but yeah. Is it a Discman? Because I have so many CDs. Yeah, there you go. All right. Yeah, the direct marketing to kids under 13. You know a guy with the... Yeah, I think I have just about the entire library of the Horus Heresy. I don't have a lot of the Siege of Terra stuff, but I have a lot of that in audiobooks. Oh, me and him, we listened to a couple short stories from the Horus Heresy on a car ride. So, I am also tired of subscription services. Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Right there with you, Wandering Picked. Okay, so they're looking good. He's got a good amount of white, gold, and red. And a good split. Little accents with the jade is nice. Yeah, so might be getting the family plan, the YouTube Premium family plan, guys. Which, I know people laugh at people that pay for YouTube, but I literally I watch so much more YouTube than any other service, that I think my YouTube Premium is the only service that I feel like I get my money's worth when I have it. Test model with the Zorn palette for the Antioch. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah, you did the oil removal and everything, and yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's like suitably grimdark. The cloak looks really good too. I really like the cloak. You paid for Twitch for 15 years. Yeah. Yep. pay for YouTube because I mostly watch YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. We used to have 4 or 5 subscriptions to like different streaming services, but then when they all got past like $10 a month, we're like, nope. Sounds like a plan. Happy birthday to the painting son. Yep, I'll tell him that today. I'll say, yeah, happy birthday. You're 13, and here's your YouTube Premium subscription. You can download music now. Oh, that sucks, Dunder. I'm sorry to hear that. You guys, go get some soup. Go buy some cans of soup. Just put it in a pot. And looks a little bit black and yellow ochre, then adding bits of ivory. That's crazy. That's really cool, though. No, great mini. 16 The Great Wars. Dang, you are binging. That's great. The first episode I listened to of that series and of all those was it was 2016, so it was 1916. It was February, and it was when the Battle of Verdun started. So February something, 1916. And I have been listening to Indy Nidell every week, at least once a week, for the past 10 years almost. Yeah, it's almost 10 years I've been watching something from him. It has been the most educational thing I have listened to and watched on YouTube. So yeah, so these guys are done. They got their weathering powder on the bottom. Blow a little bit of the extra off. Yeah, we can go set them on the case. We just need to get their other 10 buddies done, which I'm not super looking forward to. Let's bleed the French dry. Yeah, there's Verdun in a nutshell, right? Wife, my dad is considering he put on metal music on our car. I was like 12. Oh yeah, it's funny. You know, something I can do. I have this really nice, not Vlad the Impaler, but Vlad von Karstein mini. I'm gonna try to clean this mini up a little bit. Little print. Tactical Keith, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Did Twitch not want to notify me about that? Well, what's up with this? Welcome in, Tactical Keith. What are you up to? So, alright, I am thinking of going to a tournament in March for Middle Earth strategy battle game. A buddy of mine, Killer Cam, actually hit me up, asked if I was going, and I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it, or I was kind of considering it, but he's like, I think I'm going. I was like, alright, I'm in. So, canned soup is the dishes. Eat it out of the can. You're gonna have to heat it up. It's already cooked. New to the hobby, trying to check out different hobby guys and gals. Oh, well, welcome. It's always nice to hear from new people jumping in. I was going to talk some hobby drama. Do you guys want to hear some hobby drama? Yeah, it's a very, very chill place. We chill. I chill and talk minis and paint minis and assemble minis and we don't. There's no yelling or screaming or weird noises coming from this stream, unless I start sneezing or something. But we try to keep it pretty chill around here. All right, we going. Yeah, the Discord's super friendly too, especially if you have questions. We have people of all different... Oh gosh, no, he's doing the weird noises. At least I don't have turtles on mine, right? Um, but a lot of helpful people, but people of all experience levels. And you know, if you need advice or you just want to show off your stuff, I always found like showing off what I have painted kind of gives me motivation to keep painting. All right, we have GW drama, or I don't know if it's drama, but GW stuff and Warlord Games stuff. What do you guys want to hear about first? What's that? I bounce back and forth between must learn and make best painted minis I've ever done. I want to turn my brain off and just paint. Yeah. Warlord Games are the people that own Bolt Action, actually, but they own a lot of historical games and also like Conflict 47 and stuff like that. All right, we'll do the juiciest one last. So first one, we'll do GW first because the Warlord Games one's kind of crazy. Games Workshop, and some of you guys might have seen this. Someone actually posted it in the Discord this morning, but they put out like their semi-annual like financial statement. So they're like 6-month statement or whatever. And there's also a little bit of like Trench Crusade drama too. So all kinds of drama in the gaming world. But one of the things they talk about a couple things. Like their best-selling box set of the year was the Space Wolf like release box set. And they said it like broke records with the number of boxes it sold. I don't know what kind of records they're talking about, but so Space Wolves are really popular. No surprise to anybody, right? Driving home from the LGS. Yeah, he's twitching and driving again. Guys, someone get this man. So they talked about that and like just GW's doing very well. All right, I'm sure some people would hate to hear that, but they did talk about AI. So the CEO was talking about AI, and when he brought up AI, he was talking about, yeah, it's new technology, everybody's doing it, this whole thing. And he said, when I talked to the board about it, everybody was skeptical and had a negative opinion. And he essentially said that GW is not using AI, and they currently have no plans to use AI in any kind of art generation, any kind of design or model design. He said, we are not using AI. They said that they are paying their artists and their creators, and that's what they use for their stuff. Yeah, we will see how long it lasts. GW does tend to be a very old-fashioned company with a lot of things, but it is a very good sign. And something I would like to reiterate, I think we had this conversation last year of like how, you know, people talk about and they boycott Games Workshop when Games Workshop doesn't do the thing they want, and we talk about how anti-consumer Games Workshop is, but if we make a list of like the 100 worst companies in the world as far as any kind of ethical or moral practices, GW would not make that list. So, comparatively speaking, GW is a pretty mellow and chill company. Now, I understand they're still a billions-dollar corporation, and they still do things that are anti-consumer and everything, but hearing the CEO just blatantly call out AI and say that they have no plans on using it is nice, and yeah, reassuring, right? So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I think you can look up their statement. I think that statement's public and everything, like their financial statement. So worth reading. It seemed like a pretty definitive statement to me, though, from what I noticed, or from what I read. So that's the GW thing. I thought going to AI and talking about AI would be was an interesting thing for them to touch on, the fact that they like mentioned it. And I was impressed that they're like, nope, not doing any of it. Like when I mentioned it to the board, they all hated the idea. And it's like, okay, yeah, a bunch of grumpy old British people. Yeah. The other thing I saw there was, and I have this, like a portion of this saved, but I don't know, COO or whatever of Warlord Games had an interview. If you guys aren't familiar with Warlord Games, they're probably the biggest historical manufacturer, like a mini game producer out there. Bolt Action is probably their biggest game, but they make a lot of games. A lot of games. So they're a pretty big company. Well, there was a news, I don't know, website or news something company that that was writing an article essentially about Games Workshop. And it was about Nottingham, England, or like the little town where their headquarters is. And just talking about like the games industry, the like miniature games industry, and like how big of an impact it has on like that small town. And it's like outsized or whatever, basically, but like just that whole industry, right? And let me see if I can look up the statement here. Well, the journalist or whatever ended up interviewing people at Warlord Games, and they were talking to the COO. And this is in context of the rest of the article, which I cannot like access. Yeah, okay, here it is. So one of the topics that they talked about was in like this hobby space, and I know we kind of talk about this too and everything, but occasionally, but how, and you know, we probably maybe have a little bit more unique perspective in this because I know there are some women in chat, but they talk about how like the barriers to like women in to get into this hobby and how it's almost like kind of gatekept or whatever. And so this little portion of the article, and I believe they had interviewed some women before they put this statement in here, but they said one barrier to wider recognition may be who the hobby appears to be for and who it appears to exclude. Many women paint miniatures, but far fewer play. Parts of the industry remain openly resistant to the idea of change. When I asked John Stollard of Warlord Games whether more women were taking an interest in his products, he bristled. "You have to get that one in, didn't you?" And he snapped, Nobody interested in historical wargaming are women. It's a lazy journo question. Don't like that." So, like, he got upset asking about how to appeal, like, his if his games appeal to women, and was just, like, mad about it. Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, hey, Giga Doodoo, welcome in. How you doing? So like what's funny to me about that is that, like, I understand, you know, historical gaming doesn't typically appeal to women as much as men, you know, and that's H.G. Wells of Victoria was more inclusive in his writing than the rules for Little Wars. They should expand the market to make more money. CEO. Yeah, exactly. Estrella, that's my exact opinion. Like, it's kind of a softball in a way. Like, you know, we want to be as inclusive as we can to people, and, you know, and blah blah blah, canned corporate response, right? And he's just like, he just gets like so mad about it. Like, what is that? The article's paywalled, unfortunately. I would find that article and post the whole article if I could, but yeah. Yeah, so you know, like I just thought it was crazy, like how he just he just goes like all in on like no girls allowed, like just completely like leaning right into the into the point the article's making. Here's back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Blue. Yeah. Jules wrote his first tabletop game rules, and he goes, most women wouldn't be interested, but if you find a rare specimen and would like to play, she should be allowed to play. Yeah. I hate money is a very interesting capitalist take. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm not in the business of generalizing people here. All right, like we literally have women in chat who play these games, right? So it's just like, yeah, I don't like now. You know, like a woman is researching this game or something, kind of interested in historical games, and she comes across this like statement from this guy, like, yeah, you lost yourself money. Like, maybe women don't want to play because they feel like people don't want them to play. You know, like men don't want them to play, which we have seen that opinion time and time again from people that come into this chat and just go all out on like women bad in Warhammer, and they just like, yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of dudes that play historical games that are great people. Again, you know, I don't want to generalize. You know, I know in any game I've been involved in and have played or anything, like, there have been stinkers. You know, metaphorically and literally. And whether that's just, you know, and there's been creepy dudes. And in a lot of these games. I never go to my FLGs on Friday nights. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a crazy statement to get from a CEO, from a company CEO though. And like, grand scheme of things, Warlord Games is not a big company, right? In this space that we're in right now, it is a very large company that sells and makes a lot of minis, and that has kind of a lot of pull and visibility in the hobby. So, welcome. I'm really happy I've dealt with those kind of people. Yeah. And I think attitudes have shifted for the better. Maybe gradually, maybe way too gradually, but I think they have overall, where you'll find a lot less gatekeeping behavior and maybe a lot more welcoming people in this hobby in general, maybe the past 6-7 years. But yeah, it's still an issue. And I feel like that dude is a great personification of the issue. Should women feel welcome and comfortable? Told them privately, if they ever feel uncomfortable, let me know. Yeah. The women that play my events, yeah, not just random women. Just go to the grocery store. Hey, if you're feeling uncomfortable, give me a call. Yeah, wild. All right, that's the Warlord Games thing going on. If you're uncomfortable, let me know. Winks finger, yeah, Winks and does finger guns, yeah. Calls her toots or something, you know, like just yeah. Old Loco GW is welcoming, yeah. I have been into stores that are very good. I have been into some very bad game stores like LGS's. Yeah. Then tip your fedora, yeah. That's what you gotta do. Self-emotion, because you end up being nervous because you expect dudes to be weird about things, and those dudes never see women at events, cementing their belief that women don't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. Wandering pick. Yeah. It's self-fulfilling, right? Like, just, yeah, women don't play these games, and then they see a woman, they proceed to like go over and like start breathing heavy down their neck or something, and like, you know, and then they get mad that like the woman gets grossed out by it and leaves, and then they and they're like, women don't play these games. Yeah. Oh yes, friends told people not to mess with me. Warns me about people. Yeah, that's good. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. It's crazy that this needs to be a conversation anyway, right? Like, yeah, there are a couple there, and this, so Estrello, that kind of leads into my third thing about Trench Crusade that I'll talk about, because I heard some things about Trench Crusade I was reading about and I thought was interesting, but yeah. So guys, don't be creepy. Welcome everybody. All right, take a shower before you go play a game that day or something. You know, just can we stop being creepy? No, okay. Yeah, we're all just playing with little plastic dolls, okay? Which is kind of the funny way to put it, but like, we're people are there to have fun and relax and everything, and you know, want to spend their money and support the same hobbies you play. Like, there's no reason to be weird about it. But the only people with beards play Old World? What? Yeah. I can see that people believe that. Yeah. Today's your scheduled shower day. Okay. Yeah, sit on now. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah. Sorry, I was born with a creepy face. I mean, you are a band of goblins, so I don't blame you for that, but you gotta figure it out. So I also saw that Trench Crusade had some drama, and now I saw this originally on YouTube, getting suggested videos about how Trench Crusade is dying, and you know, and like the people are mad with the game and mad with the company and all this stuff, and I was kind of like, what is this about? What is it about? So I did a little bit of digging, and I was reading some about this, and here's my understanding. Trench Crusade, you know, they had a Kickstarter, right? And that was a year and a half ago or so. Yeah, so at first I wasn't, then I saw people talking about it, and then I like kind of like, you know, went down the rabbit hole basically. But I'm gonna grab some bases while I'm talking. So here's my understanding. Trench Crusade was originally a Kickstarter, right? For people who are in the know or familiar with this. And their whole premise was, we have all these rules and this cool artwork and stuff, and it's not really my jam. There's some cool stuff with it and everything, but that's fine. A lot of people like it. It's become really popular. They sold STLs. So people bought the STLs, and you'd print your own minis for the game. Well, they also created, or they had their own like print shop or something. And so you could buy minis straight from them that they printed, and I think the STLs and the printed minis maybe had a couple flaws. I think there was a little bit. There's. I'm just gonna say there's no reason to stop playing Trench Crusade. No, this is more of internet reaction on Trench Crusade. But I think some of the STLs maybe had some issues. They were maybe a little subpar quality as far as like flaws in the minis and stuff, which happens. Company used the 3D print the kicks. Yeah, okay, yeah. So there's some stuff around there like that. All right. Didn't seem super professional. Well, and then people were upset when the company announced their first plastic set of miniatures. Those super cool looking Prussian minis. So yeah, aren't we an entitled populace? Yeah, these free minis aren't working. So people are mad that they aren't giving STLs for these minis, that they're making them in plastic instead. And it's kind of an interesting like idea, because instead of selling the STLs for literal pennies per miniature, or maybe a penny per miniature, it's it's plastic that people have to buy. All right. So yeah, the company's making a business, and honestly, as far as growing a game and like a setting and everything, I think they went about it in a really intelligent way, right? You kind of do things like free and cheap up front. 3D printing is a super popular thing. It's really cheap for people to get into. It gives a lot of goodwill, and then slowly you start making your own minis that people can buy, and it makes it more accessible, and it gets it in local game stores, right? So yeah, stores can stock them. They can build their community, and they didn't have to like invest in all the tooling and everything up front. Essentially, they were able to kind of like get the little like push start, right, and then they grow from there. So in my opinion, I think it was a really smart move. I think it's cool they're making plastic minis. They're more expensive than market average, yeah, but STLs are still cheap though in comparison to everything else. Well, when they came out with that, people were mad. Well, there was another end of this, where with licensing. So there are two parts where you can actually make licensed Trench Crusade stuff, and you can say stuff is compatible with Trench Crusade. There's these two like ideas that they have. The first one, to be compatible, you can like sell an item and say this is compatible with Trench Crusade. All right. All they ask is that you get permission from them first. That's it. You email them, show them your product, and they're like, and you're like, hey, can I get permission to sell this? I just want to say it's compatible with Trench Crusade. Yeah, great. No, too bad. That's it. They don't ask for any monetary compensation for that. There's nothing that they ask for from that. They just want to give you permission, because I think they don't want either stuff that's maybe too similar to theirs, or maybe possibly hate crimey kind of things, that kind of stuff. The other end of it is like officially licensed products, which is more of an agreement, and then they tell you up front, like, yeah, we get a small percentage of the sales, but it's something we work out. Okay, whatever, that's fine. But you can say it's officially licensed, and it's like officially part. I think there was a group of people that got upset because they made Trench Crusade things. Maybe they said they were compatible with Trench Crusade or meant for Trench Crusade. but they never got permission, or they asked for permission and were denied their request. And I think that made them upset. I also think the groups of people that were making this stuff were the type of people that were either involved with or hung around or were in the same kind of spaces as some of the creators that we know to be some of the worst people to be marketing this hobby. Plastic means you can finally have an LGS present. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's perfect, Zen. Yeah, it's how they can actually sustain their company, right? But I think some people that were either denied permission or shut down because they did stuff without permission are mad about it and decided to complain to certain people that maybe just make a bunch of money stirring up drama. And then that kind of became a cycle. Yeah, it's cool necromancer. This is a 3D printed necromancer. This is Kimmler here, classic necromancer. I assembled him, assembled this little very aristocratic vampire, and my Vlad von Karstein dude here. So just some minis I printed. Yeah, and so I think what happened was, the kind of like far right associated people, especially like the content creators in the Warhammer space and like this hobby space and everything, they kind of picked up on it. They decided to stir up drama, and they started putting this like Trench Crusade is dead, Trench Crusade is failing, like the company's gone woke and now they're going broke or whatever. Like they're just doing that thing. And and so it gets picked up by other people because all they see is the rage bait YouTube videos or whatever of Trench Crusade is dying and everything, and then they like that's what people hear. So my understanding is Trench Crusade is doing fine. They apparently were not okay with or shut down some people trying to make content that would have been associated with Trench Crusade but was too much for them, which makes me really wonder what they put in there because that game has some very dark things. And and then people were upset, and so what do you do in 2026 when you're upset about something? You go on the internet and you make a video calling the other thing that you're upset with horrible, and that's how you handle your problems. So that's my understanding with Trench Crusade, is they were not okay with a certain amount or certain group or something making affiliated products, and those particular people got really upset about it. All the Russians and Belarusian based stuff from my purchasing. Yeah, okay, yeah, there you go. So yeah, Quishy, yeah. I'm pretty suspicious of any Russian content creator at this point. It's called Write and Burn. You like write your theory, your thoughts and feelings, and you just like get rid of it. Is that write an email and don't send it? Yeah, that's solid. All right, that's fair. This was the charity painted. We'll just have to find a good base for him here. Therapy letter. Yeah, write a letter to someone, don't send it. Yeah, all right. Hey, that works. Yeah. Anything people could do to stir up drama. So, I did the research so you guys don't have to. So, yeah, I actually realized, yes, this is Zendrol. That's who this is. So, this is his mini he paid for. So, I'll get your name on that base as soon as he's gets his base. So, I will stick him actually over with my 2 airbrush pile. And he'll get his get his day in the sun here, and I'll put these 3D printed minis here on bases. Cause less drama if they didn't hit the upload button. Yeah, gonna unsub tonight. That's solid, Quishy. There you go. I realized that a YouTuber I was subscribed to for a long time, who made he did lore videos. Why does it always start with lore videos? But he went all in on Trench Crusade is dying and this is why, and then found out this dude was associated with Arch Warhammer and stuff, and I was like, yep, I am done with this dude. Don't need any of that. On these bases. Yep. Yeah. Don't bother. Don't bother, guys. Don't. He is the right wing Warhammer guy. Is that what he's called? What is I don't know. I could have his name wrong too if you're just making fun of me, but I think that was his name. Arch something. A literal fascist, yeah. So it is. Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's just a group of people that end up just congregate. It's pretty wild. Yeah, that's a dude. So yeah, good stuff. That's all the hobby drama I have, though. Grums and Sauron. So I'm not familiar with them. So yeah, but if you see them, I guess. Yeah, it's always kind of a trajectory of the people that end up going that route too, of number of rage baiters that Chicken Little the crap out of yeah. Well, so Anthony, that's been a thing since time immemorial, saying that GW is failing. That wasn't supposed to send those therapy letters on them. I remember back in 2005, people were like, "Oh, GW's they're anti-consumer and their prices are too high. No one's gonna buy these things. People are just gonna buy Mantic games, and they just do that." Yeah, don't get stuck in that kind of stuff. It's truly not difficult to be a decent person. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, money apparently. Yeah, echo chamber and money. I bet. the grift is real, right? Just rage baiting to get people's money. It's crazy. It has to be the easiest thing. Has anybody here just made an anonymous account and just started rage baiting people and then just made your millions and just stopped? Because sometimes I think man, that's a viable business strategy. Look how easy it is. It's can I be such a horrible person? Everybody's doing it. Not worth my soul. Yeah. Ton of donations and then dipped. Yeah. I don't remember that particular one. I know the one that's banned from Australia now. She's I'm no longer. But yeah. Every now and then I wish I had less morals because I feel life would be easier. Yeah. But my hobby is spreading hate and misinformation. Yeah. You just do it as a hobby, Yeah. I think of Colin Robinson from What We Do in the Shadows. That is, man, I wholeheartedly recommend that show. It's about a coven of vampires in Staten Island that live in present day Staten Island, and it's incredible. But Colin Robinson is the best vampire, and he's so good. It's so great. No. Some dollar store life jackets. Yeah. Yeah, those algorithms are sketchy. So my son has liked YouTube for many years, which is fair. You know, like kids like YouTube, right? Watch someone play video games and they're funny and, you know, whatever. Put videos up every day. Yeah, he's the energy vampire. Yeah, Colin Robinson's the energy vampire. And he has a stint where he trolls people online to get them mad because he like feeds off of it. It's incredible. But yeah, Strello, yeah. So he was watching a YouTuber like every day, and it was like the only YouTuber he'd watch. And I tell him like, hey, dude, like let's find somebody else that plays similar games. Like, no, I don't watch him. Okay. So I would like listen on these videos, and I would notice like little things this guy would say that I was kind of like raising my eyebrow to, and like oh, that sounds like maybe a little sketchy. And he would say some of these things, and eventually like I sat my son down, like, we're not watching this guy anymore. And I explained to him why, and I was like, you know, it always starts with like, haha, he makes a joke about this thing and he kind of says this, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know, it's just my opinion, I'm allowed to have my opinion. And then it's like, you know, well, this is what they're doing to ruin, you know, us, and, you know, they and you know, all, and it just like it turns into that. And it's just like it's like a rabbit hole, right, that just happens. And it seems like it happens with so many of these like YouTubers and everything. So yeah, my wife and I, we sat him down, we had like a good like half-hour talk about it, and he was totally cool, and he found other stuff to watch, and we were good. And I, you know, listening to what he's watching, and yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I guess it helps that I'm a parent that watches a ton of YouTube, so you know, I'm not just sticking my kids in front of YouTube and just like letting them go. Our son also doesn't watch a ton of TVs, so his screen time's pretty limited. It's a couple that make stuff. Yeah. You gotta watch his videos too. Yeah. I hope he's a great dude when he grows up. That's the goal. Ooh, this kid gets an attitude sometimes. I think he gets it from his mom, but I only tell her that like every other day. But a little too big for his britches sometimes. It's prime Ocean View real estate in Arizona. Yeah. Oh man. And Mario Kart. I think he'd probably beat me in Mario Kart at this point. Yeah, too big for his britches. My Ohio showing. Yeah. We've been enjoying Vampire Survivors together. That's been our game we've been playing together. So I try to get on there, and whenever we play together, I try to unlock like 5 things for his game. Oh man, we were staying with some family a couple weeks ago, like right after, like between Christmas and New Year, and all right, Zen, have a good one, man. Enjoy your meeting. But my 10-year-old niece, I was chatting with her, and she said bet, and I was like, excuse me, like that's weird to hear from my niece. And like I said, bet. She's like, do you know what that means? I was like, oh man, here we go. I was like, all right, like you're gonna use this is it like Zoomer slang or whatever? I don't know what you call it, but I was like, I'm gonna use it too. And so the rest of like the weekend, I was just going on about like Skibbity Riz and On God, and yeah, just all this stuff. I just kept saying stuff like that. She was getting so mad. It was so great. Yeah. Don't speak to me of the old world's child. Yeah, I was there when they were written. Yeah, that's old slang. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Yeah. I gotta keep up. But you know, as an adult, if you just say 6'7", like kids get, like they like roll their eyes at you. So yeah, it is what it is. Well, we got stuff done. Finished up that Centurion. Finished up old Zendral, the Centurion over there with the lightning claws. He will be used. I like lightning claws in 3rd edition. They're really cool. Yeah, exactly. Quickest way to make something uncool is do it as an adult. Exactly right. That's exactly my goal. Whatever that is. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how yeah, just you know, every kid has their slang, right? So hey, when World of Warcraft was out and it was like epic and lol and yeah, just or Kek, right? Kek, the from the other side's language saying LOL or whatever, and just yeah. Yeah. Well, that was a fairly productive couple hours actually. So I'm probably gonna do some airbrushing today, and then I think tomorrow we're gonna be back painting the next thing. So yeah, yeet, yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, the leet speak. Oh man, yeah. Ugh. So all right, I'm gonna call the stream there today. We'll end on that wonderful high note. The cool S. That's been a thing since I don't know, for the past like 5,000 years, I'm sure. The cool S. Yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll be back on about 11 a.m. tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. So yeah, we'll be back. We'll be painting more minis. I'm gonna take a guess and say it's gonna be some Warhammer Old World stuff of some variety. So that's kind of the plan. But yeah, I will see you all tomorrow, and you all have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.